Alright guys, this is for your 24-25 Kawasaki Ridge door handle mechanism. Obviously you need to remove a handful of screws, push pins. There are 3 pop pins in here, and you pull out the outer upper door and you're able to get to 3 screws that are down here at the bottom. Remove remaining screws around the bottom of the door and pull it out. Then there is 2 10mm bolts here holding the latch on, and then there is 2 on the inside here, if you can see where the door handle is back here, 2 number 3 Phillips to remove to then get your door latch mechanism out. Alright, if you've been having problems like me, sometimes your door will pop open while riding, or you close the door and it'll latch once and then pop to the safety latch. And a lot of the times, it's, if you look inside here, where the door handle is operated when this thing's bolted in, it pushes up and down on this right here to rotate the arm. Debris gets in here if there's no lubrication. If you can see all that crud that's inside there, I gotta clean all that out to get this thing to move properly, because it will bind up and sit right there, and then the door will actually rattle open because it's not sitting all the way in the up position here, and it keeps a little bit of pressure on the linkage, so it's not sitting there releasing all the way. What some folks have done, and I've done it on my passenger door latch, is you can come in here with a file and file the tip of this gold portion down here where it touches the latch mechanism. That will give you some room so it actually won't bump this latch open anymore. But what I have found is easier is to remove this rod that's in here. All you do is take these plastic clips, you push up on them where they're open on the bottom, and they rotate. I'm not a liar. They rotate, and then you're able to get these arms out. But if you decrease the angle here, it will throw the back of this arm back further. But if you go back too far, then the distance between here and the latch becomes too much, and then it actually will not hit the door latch properly and unlock it. But as you can see, mine's binding up from dirt, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that thing out and get this thing working as it should. Alright, now I've got my latch all cleaned up. I've just used an excessive amount of WD-40 with a rag and hosed out all these crevices down inside the mechanism here. This is actually where it was binding on my other latches. There was a bunch of debris in here, but now, as I can manipulate this with one hand, as I push it, really easy. Like it's not binding anymore. Really, yeah, working well. What I do like to do now is take this door latch and I will lubricate inside this mechanism here as well as all these areas. And honestly, I've found what works the best is just chain lube. The stuff kind of sticks to things. It doesn't dry out like WD-40 or PB Blaster or all these things, you know, are temporary. At least this, I've got a whole bunch of it. I've got motorcycles too, so this works out well. So now I'm going to go ahead and lube this up and then go ahead and get this back inside the door. Alright, as I'm putting the latch back in here, some things to note that may catch you off guard. So the screws that go into the door handle, they have these spacers on them. These spacers are extremely important. Grab my flashlight. If you look at the holes where they go through the handle, right here is one of them. So when they go through, and on the back end of the door handle is these. This is your outer door handle. You can see your 2 screw holes. If you don't have those spacers in there, it will crush this up against the door latch and deform it, and it will not open smoothly. So that's something to keep in mind. Something also to note is you don't have to undo the cable adjustment here. The cable adjustment can stay put. All you have to do is flip this black, here we go, this thing right here, this black catch right here. All you have to do is push it down, rotate it out of the way, and this cable pops right out. So putting this back together is super easy. Something worth noting, when you put this together, just finger tight these screws that go back into the latch itself, and then put the 2 screws, there's one there, there's the other one. Make sure to tighten those up first on the door latch to the door handle. After those are tight, then tighten these. If you don't, when you tighten these, this thing can pitch and turn a little bit, and then when you tighten that, I mean, it's going into plastic. You don't want to put any tension on it, so we don't want any of that to break. So now I'm going to put the rest of this door panel back together, and it should close easy. All right, moment of truth. Everything's back together, all the screws, all the push pins. There's 1 pin, 2 pin, and 3-pin up here that you have to push in to make sure those things pop in there. But once they're in there, let's see, I have all my seals done on this thing, so it is always a little bit difficult to close the door. I do have the window popped slightly, but again, you should hear 2 clicks. 1 click, there's the safety catch, and the next click, boom, we got 2 clicks. Pull the door handle, 1 click, 2 clicks. So I would say that is now fixed with cleaning it out and a little bit of lube. Now it's working like it should. Heck yeah! Yay, Kawasaki.